that you heard so many times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song, but then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry. Yeah. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know. Yeah. Whoa. East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast gon' head stand up, put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up. Got that change, we bagged up. Cool love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm Wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick I'm queasy, whoa. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. Yeah. Watch me finesse, walk to the line. Good versus evil, God in his prime. Always in prime, always on time. Our time to shine, wifey is fine. I'm doing fine, glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up, all that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead, you are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast. Fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
15 seconds. We can do it. Hold your breath.
I'm hungry because my blood sugar is going up.
This is like a Jabba the Hutt vibe I'm getting here.
Stop! Stop! You can see the finger marks on my arm.
Go fuck yourself.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight! Go fuck yourself.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 21 Hundo and 58 of the daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. Today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2 Flex and on all.
Fucking Catalina.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
What's going on, famwise? How we doing? Ash, Dawn, Tyler, Booger Bubble, welcome. Nick, how are we doing? Tina and Pedro, everyone is here. Welcome to the show. Make sure you hit the like button wherever you're watching or listening and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you bang your ear holes. Welcome to the Sunday Fun Day. Red, White, and Swole. It's the Q and Anus. Echoes through the quarry of sick fucking gains. Fam, we have a great show today. If you are brand new, if it's your first time, this is a unique episode. Every single Sunday, we take lots of questions live as well as from Shitstagram and other social media apps. And we see where the tides and the breeze, we see where the currents take us. So if you have questions, start dropping them down below in the comments. Ask Papa Swolio, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio, and we will start taking questions momentarily. But first, let's bust this nut open. Are you ready for a good time tonight, fam?
Inconceivable!
He's heating up!
Let's summon the Falcon and get this party started. Valk. Put some respect on it, shabooshes.
USA, greatest country in the world.
Leo, it's a Sunday. Cheers, brother. Cheers, Leo. Cheers, cheers. Cheers to you, ya boosh. Hashtag toxic muscularity in the comments down below for a chance to win today's Swole card. And look at that sexy Tessie. Oh my God.
You know the thing about a shark, he's got
that was a nice little burp too.
Lifeless eyes. Black eyes, like a doll's eye.
Tessie, you're looking sexy. Hashtag toxic muscularity. Okay, fam, drop that in the comments down below. Let's get into the Swole fam questions. Drop in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Remember, if you want to get access to all the brand new content that drops this week as you drop your questions in the comments, remember, we had some overtime, fam. We had some overtime last Friday. And we are going to have some upcoming overtime. We'll talk about it more tomorrow in the accountability meeting. We're going to have some more overtime this week. So make sure you're ready for that. And we're going to have, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun like last time, but we're going to do that again. And we're going to make it even better and even easier to access. It was a fun time last Friday and we're going to do it again, but details to come tomorrow because we have an accountability meeting tomorrow. Oh my God, I just moved the whole screen off my... There we go. All right. It's a rough start. We have an accountability meeting tomorrow. So tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time, we have our weekly accountability meeting. So be there if you are interested in joining the fam. Now's the time to do it because over there inside Swolenormous X, we will have our live call at noon tomorrow. Tomorrow, Monday, April 4th. Again, 12 noon Eastern time. We have some new releases. We got some more Swole fam posts. Tomorrow's live calls are always awesome. Best way to start the week is with the Swole fam. So make sure you are checking us out. Swolenormousx.com. And we have some new videos inside Swole TV. We got childhood bodies. Yep.
Inconceivable!
Unbelievable!
That's available now inside Swole TV in your uncensored section. And of course, we had recently the last drop before that, low-rise jeans, 2, oh my God, absolutely frightening videos. Go check them out inside Swole TV in Papa Swolio's uncensored videos. Go give that a look. If you have not yet done so, check out all those new releases this week. We also, in last week's accountability meeting, we dropped a couple classes. We had new Express Twists class, as well as a Papa Swolio's featured pump legs number 7. So go and give that a look-see. All right, now that we went through some of the details, some of the updates, the things to be aware of, like tomorrow's accountability meeting, live call, let's take some questions from the live chat. If you have them, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. We will get into Tyler's question first. What would an Ask Papa Swolio live be without a question from Tyler? Papa Swolio, not a question. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. But I want to thank you for the advice with the content creating and how the algorithm works. My videos on TikTok are getting thousands and thousands of views. I appreciate it. Hell yeah, dude. Good for you. There you go. Keep doing it. Keep it up. Keep doing it. But you should be posting like 5 videos a day on TikTok. 5 videos a day. Number 1, you got to find your niche. You got to get your audience. But you also have to get, the more you post, the better you'll get at posting. You just got to get used to trying different things to see what works. You can't do that efficiently by posting one thing a day. Eventually you might be able to get to the point where you're posting less often, but I still post like 5 times a day. So make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. Stay on it. There's only probably about 12, 18 months left of really solid growth on TikTok if you're interested in growing for a business, for personal brand, whatever the hell it is. Make sure you get on TikTok if you're trying to get some reach. Of course, if you're a privacy hound, it's not the best app, but I mean, it's hard nowadays. It's hard nowadays. If you have a business, you have to be on these apps, even though it's not the wisest in terms from a security or free speech type of thing. All right, let's take the first question from Instagram.
What's in the box?
I'll be a monkey's uncle. All right, Adlane Busa. Is 100 grams daily of protein enough to build muscle? It depends on your stature. It depends on where you're starting from. Is it enough to build muscle? I personally don't think it's sufficient for most adult men that are lifting hard and lifting with progressive overload, training intensely. It might not be enough. And I say might not because everyone's a little bit different, but I would recommend getting at least 0.8 grams per pound of body weight, especially if you're doing heavy lifting. So can you build a little bit of muscle? Sure, you can build muscle. But the thing is, with the overload, you need enough nutrients like protein, you need enough of these building blocks for your body to be able to access in order to generate new muscle tissue to repair efficiently between workouts. So you might build a little muscle at the beginning because it's a new stress on your body. You have some extra body fat that your body can utilize for other processes while it prioritizes certain proteins and X, Y, and Z for muscle or protein synthesis. But in the long term, you're going to hit that plateau. You're going to have limits on how much muscle you can build with only 100 grams of protein a day. All right, Vince Pilot, Papa Swolio, what is the best type of gym to go to, i.e. commercial gym, private gym? Great question. Great question. You can drop your personal beliefs down below. Of course, you can have a home gym. So I've lifted at many of these. I've lifted at private gyms, small gyms. I've lifted at commercial gyms, massive gyms. There's benefits to both. If you go to a huge gym, you'll pay a smaller amount per month. You get access to millions of dollars worth of equipment. If you go to a private gym, you might pay a little bit more because one, you are, getting a more private experience. Maybe things aren't as far apart around different parts of the gym. You have less people, could be less busy, but you might have less equipment choices. Or, for example, you can build out your home gym, whereas you're paying a lot more. So a private gym, you're going to be paying more per month, for example. For a commercial gym, you get access to most equipment, but you pay the lowest amount. But then it's going to be very, very busy potentially. You might not have enough squat racks. Some big gyms have a lot more of certain things, but you might have to wait for machines. Depends on what time of day you're going to the gym. I personally don't like a slam gym at 6 or 7 p.m. or I hate fucking crowded gyms. So once I started building out my home gym, a lot more money up front because you're buying the equipment. But of course, if you just want to train at home, if you're doing things for general health and improvements in your physical strength, power, endurance, you only need a couple kettlebells really to make massive progress. I think the best piece of equipment overall is a kettlebell in terms of, okay, I want to buy the most efficient equipment and get the most results. I want to do power training. I want to do endurance. I want to do grip strength. I want to do mobility. I want to build muscle. A kettlebell is going to be the cheapest point of entry. You can get a couple kettlebells and build a shitload of muscle and learn so many skills for maybe a couple $100 and you have everything you need. So, it depends on what your goal is to really accomplish. But, when you buy equipment, you buy it once, you take care of it, you never have to buy it again. So every single piece of equipment for me is an investment. And I have a ton of shit and we're redesigning the gym. And I've been talking about this. We're officially hanging stuff on the walls. We're focusing on building out the gym since we've been here like a year. And it's going to be great. I have a ton of equipment. I literally have everything that I need. Absolutely. And, anything else from here is just a bonus, ease of use, access, making sure that it's, open up more room, maybe get some more equipment, find some different spots for things. But the best type of gym is what you can afford and what allows you to execute what you need to execute for the goals that you want. It's a long answer, but it's important. It depends. Some people love a busy gym. They get inspired and they love that atmosphere. I did that for a long time and I just kind of got tired of it. Or maybe I'll go back to it in the future and I'll have a home gym and that. But of course, when things are, not everyone has access or the ability to have a whole home gym. Sometimes you have a little apartment. You could do yoga. You can get a kettlebell and do stuff like that. My point. But of course, if you really want to do hardcore weightlifting, you need to go someplace like a gym to do hardcore weightlifting. Let's see. Trace, what kinds of sunblock, if any, do you recommend for prolonged periods outside, like at the beach, for instance? I don't. Just wear clothes. So it doesn't sound nice, right? Oh my God, I have to wear a shirt or a long sleeve shirt at the gym. If you look at people that actually go fishing, notice how these guys on the boats all day, the guys that do like these fucking marlin fishing hardcore, they're wearing long sleeves. They're wearing long sleeves and shorts. Maybe they're wearing windbreaker pants or things like that. Usually they'll wear shorts, but leg skin isn't as sensitive, but they'll be wearing long sleeves for a reason so they don't get fucking burned. Or they'll be wearing a big hat, right? The big fishing hat, the big long with the big brim, so you don't have to wear sunblock. I mean, they might wear sunblock, that's to reflection off the water, but really you should just be covering yourself up rather than wearing sunblock. So I don't recommend any of that kind of stuff. Keep the skin moisturized, but that's the whole point. You should be in the sun and then you should be in the shade or cover yourself up if you don't want the rays on your skin. So I'm not saying you should go from 0 to 100 with sun exposure. If you're very sensitive to the sun, you should be getting, first off, your diet's going to make a big difference in terms of your body's readiness to burn. So if you're eating quality foods, you're cutting out a lot of the omega-6s and the linoleic acids, the nuts and the seed oils. If you're cutting that out, you're eating more grass-fed beef and quality foods. You're going to, and I've noticed this personally, a lot of members of the Swole fam have felt this. When you eat better, your skin it absorbs the light much better and the UV rays. You don't burn as easily. And a lot of people report this. And I personally have personal experience with that. So in terms of your nutrition, it's very important, but you should build up to it. So go out in the sunlight at sunrise at 6:30, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and get sun on your body. And then you build up from there. Eventually you'll be out there at 9, eventually you'll be out there at 10, eventually you could be out there at 11 or 12 or 1. And of course I get hot when I'm in the sun. I'm hot, but I go in the shade. I come inside, I go put something on, wear a hat. The one's big, right? You see me with the big straw hats and stuff. It makes a difference. It helps. Don't forget, when you're wearing a big hat, like one of those straw hats, and the sun's high noon, 12, 1 o'clock, it's coming straight down. So that hat is getting a lot more width. So you're able, when you're standing up, it's blocking a lot of sun on your shoulders and things like that too. Plus, if you're moving around, it's a lot different than if you're just laying there cooking. If I'm just like this, like sizzling like a steak, but I'm moving, I'm bending, I'm rotating, so sun's getting distributed. Of course, it's going to be concentrating depending on, if I'm standing upright, it's going to be more on my shoulders. But again, if I'm wearing that hat, it's going to block it a lot more. There we go. Little burp, not bad. All right, I've had better.
I give it
You know the deal.
a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
Mike, when doing box jumps, what is the best way to step off the box? I've heard info that you shouldn't step off forwards, backwards, or sideways. That you shouldn't step off forward, backwards, or sideways. Well, how the fuck else are you going to step off? What are you talking about? You've heard info that you shouldn't step off forward, backwards, or sideways. So how do you get off? You like roll off? You mean, or different info? Like some people say you shouldn't go forward. Some people, it depends on what you're doing. There's different types of box jumps. There's like depth jumps, like jumping off. You could step off and explode. I mean, you can step backwards. It usually makes most sense. You could step off forward, but for a lot of people, you don't have good knee mobility and knee strength and you can hurt yourself. But if you have really, depends on how high you're jumping. I mean, I wouldn't step off sideways. Just stepping backwards is fine. Jumping up and then stepping back down. I would just do that. It depends on if you're doing something for a specific sport and you need a certain type of like plyometric, a certain type of like agility along with it. If you're just doing plyometrics for yourself, like what are you doing just for you? Why are you doing box jumps? Just curious. Doesn't mean you can't jump up. Are you doing sled work and all that stuff too? There's certain foundations you build up into, especially for knee strength and hip mobility and ankle mobility. Let's see, scrolling down. Let's see if we got any things. Eric Peterson, thoughts on optimal set volume for muscle growth? It depends on the person. Depends on the individual. If you're new to training, you don't need as much volume. It's progressive overload. So you want to make sure that you are increasing the overall work capacity and the workload of your whatever muscles, whatever areas you're hitting, creating balance, of course, so you don't get overuse injuries. So optimal set volume, there really isn't. It depends on what your starting point is. For a beginner, you're not going to need as much volume and you'll build muscle. For someone who's a professional bodybuilder, you need a lot more attention to those acute variables in individual workouts in order to stimulate that kind of overload to generate more muscle growth. Of course, you're taking a lot of exogenous hormones, so it definitely makes a big difference. It takes you past your genetic potential, your natural potential. Mike, yes, I'll be doing sled work as well. Physiotherapist says jumps are good for the tendons and the ankles. Yeah, but you have to build it depends on where you're coming from. What's good for human beings, you have to understand that most 99% of people don't have functional human being bodies. So if you're not used to any kind of overload, doing sled work only focuses on the weakest part of the contraction, the concentric. So it's a very safe way to overload your tendons and work them. You have to be careful. You have to start very, very light. If you're doing it every day, start very, very light and just get into that habit of overloading those things every day. Being more barefoot often, yoga, that makes a big difference. But just start really low with those box jumps. You could even be doing stuff like just jogging in place. Just start off really, it depends on the individual. It really depends on a lot of things are good for the body. A lot of things are good for the human body, but it really depends on the actual individual because what's great for one person could be a horrible program design, a horrible idea for someone else. Tyler, have you ever cooked a steak on a sauna vent before? No, I haven't. Why the fuck would I do that? I have a great cast iron. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you watching, Tyler? What are you doing on YouTube, bro? What are you doing on YouTube? He's watching like, I don't know, Swedish Armageddon videos. In the wake of the nuclear blast, the Swedes or the Finns started cooking steak on their sauna vents. Björgen. Because I think that's what they sound like. No, I'm kidding. Michaela, Papa Swolio, hi. Not really a question, but just started watching the other because of my aunt, like watching the podcast. She was really helping me lose weight. But on the other hand, what's the best meals to eat to lose weight? Oh, check out our content, The Elimination Diet. If you're brand new, welcome. And everyone, if you could go to swolenormousx.com, and if you go to the blog, you'll find a couple blogs about the elimination diet. Plus, if you go over there, you can download the 7 pillars of Swolenormous, and it talks about the 7 pillars, of which nutrition is pillar number 2. So it'll give you a good foundation. But check out the blog over there on the website. I'll put that at the bottom of the screen for a couple moments. Let's see here. Okie dokie. Let's see here. J Shark 884, Papa Swolio, does cardio actually negate gains? No, it depends on the context of the cardio. So just like we were talking about with program design, so is 4 sets enough per exercise? Well, that depends. If you're doing one exercise, if you're brand new to the gym, 4 sets for upper body might be plenty, because you're just learning the ropes. You're just learning proper form. You're just in the hat. It's your first time. You haven't never walked into the gym. You just signed up for a membership. You don't need a hardcore workout. You need to build that kind of confidence. You need to build that awareness of how to execute the lifts properly and safely. All you need to know is go through the motions. So for example, Mama Swolio and I, we have 2 puppies now. So we're training them. And it's just important to show them the technique, like, hey, this is the function of some of these basic fundamental commands. Once you understand the structure and how the commands work, it's just doing them every day. It's just repetition over and over again, just like the 7 pillars. So the more you do that, the more those habits are going to be ingrained. It's one thing to do it properly on a Monday, but if you're not doing it on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, if you're not doing it ever again, then you don't build that habit. You don't build that consistency. So in terms of cardio negating gains, it certainly can. If you're doing marathons all the time, it's definitely going to affect your ability to build muscle mass. Your body is going to adapt to the stress it's put under. So if you're trying to focus on building muscle, you really don't need much cardio in terms of, you don't need extensive cardio, but it could be something as simple as going for a nice long walk. Keep it low, like long, slow duration. You could also do some type of interval type training where you're doing either sandbag work, mace bell, kettlebell. And it just doesn't have to be a lot. It could just be a short, like, kind of like sprint work type thing, sled work. I do cardio every single day. It's just in the context. So I don't like just, hey, let me just go for a run. I like cardio, getting my heart rate up when I'm lifting loads, when I'm doing like mobility work, when I'm doing my sled work, I'll grab a sandbag and I'll do cleans, and I'll do 10, 15 cleans, and I'll do the sled. That's cardio, but I'm actually getting benefits. I'm working my tendons, I'm working my muscles. I'm, actually getting some results at the same time. It's more conditioning. So in terms of cardio, that's really a better word for it, in my opinion. And there's different levels to that type of like aerobic conditioning. So it doesn't negate gains in itself. It depends on how it's applied. Joe, I think arms volume is my new favorite workout set. Let's fucking go. Get that arms volume, baby. Are you just doing that workout? Or what program are you doing? Are you doing the program? What are we talking about in the comments here? What are we talking about? V-Shred. Who's talking about V-Shred in the comments? Oh my goodness. What's going on with V-Shred? I haven't heard that name in a while. Let's take another question. Let's see. Brim Glizzy. Brim Glizzy? The Glizzy? Why isn't that coming up? Does Papa Swolio have any tips for consistency? Yeah, do it every day. Do it every day. Start with a small amount. Focus on one thing at a time and just do it in a small capacity. So if you're trying to do mobility every day, start with 5 minutes every day. Read the book Atomic Habits. It's a great way to create that understanding of framework with how you kind of work like a dog. You need a reward, you need something, you need a system, and you need to make your habits that you're trying to set blatant. You need to make them unavoidable. You need to make them absolute. And the things that you're trying to break, remember, by setting new habits, you're also breaking bad habits. So you have to create this kind of, you have to completely extricate these bad habits from your life. So that's why I'm always saying you can't have junk food in your house. If you know you're an addict and you know you have no control around these foods, guess what? They cannot be in your house. I don't care if you have kids. I don't care if you have a husband who likes to eat shit. If you're on the same team, these things have to get out of your house because it's garbage. It's shitty for everyone. And you shouldn't have these foods around you. You can't be an alcoholic and keep alcohol in the house. It's not going to fucking work. It's not going to fucking work. All right, Eric, Papa Swole, I just maxed out my deadlift tonight. What accessory moves do you think benefits the deadlift the most? Accessory moves, kettlebell swings, Nordic curls. I would say heels elevated, plate overhead squats. I'll have to show you a video. There'll be some stuff in the, we'll have to do some swollen. It'll be probably in a swollen 7 or a mobility masterclass. those are two good ones. Those are two good ones. Maybe like, I would say like glute focused hyperextensions. Those are absolutely excellent. Jefferson curls are great too. Kettlebell swings are epic. That posterior chain though. All right, Chef Dylan, just some thoughts. What foods / exercise should be focused on during a cut? Chef, I got to do it to you, bro.
Matt Damon.
I got to give you a Matt Damon. What foods and exercise should be focused on a cut? Eating the same foods that you should be focusing on if you're bulking. You just got to eat more or less. More or less. Doesn't sound fancy or glamorous, right? Because it's not. You're going to be eating when you feel sick. You feel like you're going to throw up and you're stuffing food in your face. That's how you bulk. That's how you bulk without getting fat. It's hard. It's very uncomfortable. And you don't need a crazy surplus too. You need a lot more patience and diligence and absolute perfection in your execution than you need and patience. So if you're trying to cut, I mean, really it's playing with those carbohydrates. I mean, I still say higher protein and fat, cutting out inflammatory foods, doing elimination diet if you haven't done it, all 7 pillars, sleep, hydration. There's a lot of things. So when it comes to that kind of a question, it has to be more context. Like, hey, tell me what you're doing now, and I can give you some suggestions on what you should be focusing more on and what you should be tightening up. So it's not a vague answer. Everyone's going to be different. Mitchell 7204, how to get someone to enjoy working out when they just don't enjoy it. Good luck with that shit. If you find out, let me know. Let me fucking know, bro. So here's the difference. It's not supposed to be entertainment, right? So first off, it doesn't matter if you enjoy it. It's supposed to be work. It's not supposed to be fun. You can enjoy it. You can enjoy it. I mean, there's different types of exercise. So if someone, look, for example, it depends on what they're trying to achieve. If someone really likes kettlebells, they hate doing barbell work, fine. Then you can do a great kettlebell routine, a great kettlebell program, and still build muscle X, Y, and Z. So when people are in denial, they want to build a ton of muscle, they want to do all this stuff, but then they don't want to lift weights. It's like, you're going to have to fucking do resistance training. So I do think liking something is valuable, but it's not the be all end all. It doesn't matter. If you want to do the thing that's going to, in my opinion, it's better if you don't like it. It's better if you don't enjoy it, because you'll respect it and you'll build more discipline by doing something that you don't enjoy. And overcoming that is as important mentally as it is physically. Plus, it'll fucking work. So you want to do what works, don't you? Do what fucking works. Do you like to do you enjoy brushing your teeth? Who cares? You do it because you don't want your mouth to smell like open asshole. So that's why you do it. Doesn't matter if you enjoy brushing your teeth. Do you enjoy wiping your ass after you take a shit? No? Does it matter? I mean, if you want friends, it matters. Yeah, front to back, by the way. You don't want to get an infection. All right. You learn something new every day on the Daily Swole, don't you? So enjoyment really isn't a prerequisite of you getting results, is it? Is it? Think of all the things that you do without enjoying it because you know it's going to get you the result you want. You need to do what fucking works and stop complaining about it. Sometimes there's some flexibility. You can do kettlebell work instead of barbell work. Okay, you're doing overload. That's great. Do Turkish get-ups, do kettlebell swings, do overhead pressing. You get fucking yoked doing kettlebell work and strong as shit and mobile. You can do all that. And you can do cardio with kettlebells. You can do all this stuff with kettlebells. So there's a lot of flexibility in terms of sometimes deciding individually, okay, you're doing resistance training. What type of resistance training are you doing? You don't have to do dumbbell work. You don't have to. You don't have to do dumbbells. Okay? You can do kettlebells. Now, if your goal is something that's really specific to like aesthetics, you want to look a certain way, then yeah, maybe certain types of training protocols you need to do no matter what. You need to do dumbbells because you can isolate and focus on certain things in certain parts of your body if you want a certain aesthetic outcome. But it's not required for, let's say, just fundamental power, strength, endurance. You don't need to have certain aesthetics, and everyone's going to be different. That's genetics too as well. But again, enjoyment is not a prerequisite for you getting the results. All right, let's get some America here.
I am the danger.
All right, we'll take a few more questions. I'll only put them back on the screen. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. We still got some more questions. Hashtag toxic muscularity in the comments down below for a chance to win today's Swole card. We got some new toxic muscularity apparel coming soon. Don't nobody go nowhere. It's going to be absolutely epic. Put that in the top right. Toxic muscularity. This is from AnXRXG. Is it okay to hit the gym during the evening? Is it okay? Papa Swolio, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. You're allowed to go to the gym as long as you did all your chores. I don't give a fuck when you go to the gym. Just make sure you go. Now, my recommendation generally is to do it earlier in the day if you can. A lot of times I like to do some mobility and some cold plunging and stuff, but I prefer, run with a dog and things like that, sprint in the backyard. But I like to do my lifting once I've done the show. And in the kind of like midday, late morning, noon, mid-afternoon, I like to be outside. I like to be lifting. It's super hot. So earlier in the day during daylight hours is my recommendation, or really early, just because it's a great way to start your day. It depends on the situation, but doing it after a long day of work and X, Y, and Z, doing it last is generally the worst, because you're allowing so many things to interrupt your flow. You're allowing so many things to happen during that day that can distract you, that can break your focus, that can come up to keep you, or maybe like, oh, I couldn't make it to the gym because X, Y, and Z. If you wake up and do it first, absolutely first, top priority, the first thing you do in the day is a gym, other shit can go down. Your boss can be a cunt. You can get into an argument with a friend of yours. Your kid got sick and you had to pick them up early from school or some shit. You got yours. You took care of yourself. Plus, you're going to have a better mindset and outlook, and you're going to be in a better position to deal with the day's challenges because you're exercised. Just the same way you train a dog after you exercise them. Like, you can focus. Your brain can focus because your body got that. You got that, movement done. You got that part of your being a human accomplished. It's really important. That's my recommendation. I mean, if that's just like the time you have to do it after work, then you fucking do it. Then you do it. You do it when you can. But at the same time, you can still maybe do like a 5-minute or 10-minute mobility in the morning. I just recommend starting your day with some type of movement or mobility at least. L Stewart 0202. What's more important, the gym or women? Well, if you want to get women, go to the motherfucking gym. Ain't that the motherfucking truth? Question from my God, V406L3P7E5. I'm 99% sure I'm getting occipital headaches when I work out. How to stop this? It depends. You're 99% sure you're getting headaches when you work out. Occipital meaning in the back, or you feel pain in your eyes, but usually that's coming from your occipital lobe. You're 99% sure. So are you having fucking headaches when you train? It's not really, you have to be 90, like you are, you aren't. Yes, go see your medical practitioner. I can give you some suggestions, but talk to your doctor. You never know what that is. Could be something limiting blood flow, tumor, who knows? Could be something with your nutrition, could be something with your breathing, could be the lights in the gym, could be your breathing, could be any number of things, or something unfortunately more serious. So get that checked out and keep us posted. Austin Fumal, Papa Swolio, I'm about 14% body fat, but it's holding on in the lower back region. Is it diet or question mark? Well, it's going to be a lot of things. 7 pillars. Nutrition is only pillar number 2. So the other 7 or 6, I should say, all 7 are important. The other 6 are important. So 14% body fat. 1, how are you measuring that? That's very important. A lot of people think that they are. They step on a scale and those aren't accurate. How are you measuring it? When are you measuring it? Why is that important to you? Why is it important for you to be 13%? That's not like what's going on here. I'm always interested in the context, because a certain body fat percentage is not something that will benefit you psychologically. It's not fulfilling. It's not fulfilling. chasing that number. It's like weight loss. You're trying to lose 50 pounds. Once you lose 50 pounds, then what? If that's your goal, what's your next goal? It's just something that's going to stop eventually, because you don't want to keep on losing body fat endlessly. One, you're not going to be able to, and eventually it's going to negatively affect your livelihood. It's going to negatively affect your testosterone. It's going to negatively affect your energy levels, right? It's going to negatively affect your strength, all these things. So the body fat percentage, different people are going to hold body fat differently. Some people, it might say 14, they look really lean because it's distributed differently on their body. Maybe some of that fat is more internal. Some of that fat is more, different areas. It's more distributed evenly. So you'll always see some people might retain more water in certain areas. Remember, you're a human, so a lot of fluid will pull down to the lower, middle, and lower parts of your body. That's why it's harder to get legs more lean, just because of gravity and water retention in your entire body. So a lot of times that's genetics too. So I'm going to assume it's your sleep, it's your nutrition. There's a lot of things that you can improve, just because for most people, there's a lot of things you can improve. All right, fam, remember, we have an accountability meeting. Let me just scroll back here. We have an accountability meeting tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Join the Swole fam today. SwoleNormousX.com. Links down below in the show notes, or head on over to SwoleNormousX and you can get access to all the overtime content. Brand new overtime segment this past Friday. Go and check it out inside Swole TV. And also you have some new uncensored videos inside Swole TV. So with all memberships, you get access to Swole TV, plus the live calls, roundtables. Don't miss out on that. We got new releases tomorrow. We also have more Swole fam posts. We'll take some private questions with the Swole fam live call tomorrow, Monday, April 4th, 12 noon Eastern time. Be there, beaches. Drop some biceps in the comments tomorrow. Now, in the comments, if you're going to be there tomorrow, drop some biceps and gorillas in the comments down below. If you're going to be at the meeting tomorrow, don't miss out on that. You're going to love it. As always. Best way to start the motherfucking week. Ooh, Jay. Joe, I just took some post-pump pics. I'll upload them after the show. Post-pump pics, the P cubed, P3, the PPP. Post-pump pics. I like it. I like it. Be there, beaches. Be there, beaches. Some biceps and gorillas. All right, let's see here. Tyler, I'm seeing all these grass-fed products at my local stores. Wow, now we need logical and common sense now? Anyways, would grass-fed jerky be the same as making it at home? Well, if you make it at home, you're going to have less of the other spices and maybe sugar and things that they might put in there. If they're making grass-fed jerky, chances are it's just going to be salt, but it depends on what kind of salt they're putting in. A lot of times they're just putting in like lower quality salt. But you can make it at home. Just get a dehydrator. We make it at home. We slice some London broil and grass-fed London broil, and then it takes like 6 or 7 hours. And we have our own jerky, so it's delicious. But yeah, grass-fed really should just be regular. Shouldn't necessarily have to say grass-fed, right? You mean this cow ate real food? Oh my God. Kind of want that only. Should just be cows. Should just be grass-fed. We fed these cows the right food. No shit. You don't say. That's great. I'm glad my cows ate grass. I like how that has to be specified. You gotta pay more if you want your animals to be eating real food. Leo Lion Bonin, is 4 hours of training MMA enough? 4 hours a week, 4 hours a day? Sounds like it. I guess because I tell you to go to the fucking gym. Well, you went to the fucking gym. Good for you. I'm assuming one day. Yeah, it sounds like more than enough. Jen Fo, specific diet and exercise tips for someone with PCOS. I recommend, well, of course, I'm sure you're talking with your doctor, but I also would recommend personally to look into insulin resistance because that's a huge issue and can lead to PCOS. So I would look into more of a carnivore-based, very animal-based dieting, cutting out seed oils, processed dairy, sugars, making sure you're eating organ meats. Check out, there's a couple podcasts I always talk about with Dr. Jamie Seaman on Paul Saladino's Fundamental Health podcast. So you can check that out. It's great for menopausal, premenopausal, postmenopausal. It's perfect for male nutrition too, but women's nutrition, those 2 episodes or 3 She's been on his podcast a couple times, so I would check that out. Very good content, very good information. But that's a result from, in most cases, insulin resistance issues, which is usually something that's also, of course, can lead to type 2 diabetes and other issues, heart disease, cancers, and such. You know, and if you have PCOS, you should be, in my opinion, you should be literally going to, most likely, I'm not a doctor, talk to your doctor, but more carnivore, fat, protein, cutting out all this other garbage that's helped so many people. Just literally cutting out all these processed foods. Ayush Jindal, Papa Swole, how to convince my significant other to work out. Ooh, lead by example. A lot of people want someone to do something else, but they're not doing it themselves. So it's hypocrisy. You need to do it yourself. So are you working out? Are you inviting them? Are you encouraging them? Are you having open conversation with how important it is to you that this person is taking care of their health? You need to have this conversation with them, but you're not going to convince anyone. You have to lead by example. Lead, don't force. Lead. Ash D, I have PCOS. I eat meat, fruit, and a select few veggies. My weight is melting off without calorie counting. Ash, good for you. Thank you for commenting. Anyone else that has experiences with that, drop in the comments below. That's fucking great. Glad to hear it. So who just asked that? No, that was a question from Instagram. Jen Fo on Instagram. So Ash, what else? Yeah. So what do you eat? Anyone else here that has experience or deals with this issue? Drop your nutrition in the comments below and how you feel and stuff like that. Very nice. All right. 7_mid. Papa Swole, I want to be a strong man, not an athlete. Nice.
We choose truth over facts.
Nice. Yeah, that's true. If if your significant other still won't take care of themselves, there's 7.5 billion people on the planet. You can find someone else that doesn't suck. I want to be a strong man, not an athlete. Cool. I think that's a good idea. You lifting weights? Go lift some fucking weights. Eat a goddamn steak and lift some fucking weights. God damn it. Get off Instagram and start lifting some fucking weights. Make some gains. Hashtag toxic muscularity. Drop it in the comments down below.
Fuck yeah!
Toxic muscularity. Drop it in the comments below. Thank you, Falcon.
Come on, man.
I know, he's annoying. Alrighty then. All right, let's see. We'll take one more question here. R4757W for 5K runs, what are the best stretches and pre-warm-ups? I would say activating your anterior tibialis, doing some toe lifts, which is great, doing some hip flexor activation, even doing some sled work is fantastic. And just getting maybe some jump rope and stuff like that. Once you kind of get your tendons warmed up, some running in place, some high knees or skipping drills and things like that. But really, I'm not a big fan of long distance running. I think sprints are fantastic. I think people should be shifting more into like barefoot running and running on your, neutral midfoot, literally running barefoot is ideal, but not everyone has that ability to, or understands how to transition into that properly. But I really do think that people should be focusing more on shorter term, more explosive or walking longer distances, and running heel to toe long distances on pavement on these garbage shoes is really fucking a lot of people up. You have to transition into that really slowly. Ironically, people start there, but I don't think people should be starting there. I think that should be something where people kind of like end up. But softer surfaces, check out more on barefoot running and activating your anterior tibialis, hip flexors, leg lifts, monkey foot's fantastic, standing leg curls, Nordic curls are great. Excellent stuff. All right, fam. Toxic muscularity. Yow. All right, here we go. Let's give away today's Swole card. Thank you so much for the Q and Anus. We will be live tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. So fam, are you ready for an accountability meeting? Live call tomorrow, April 4th at noon. So we got new releases. We'll talk more about overtime. We'll let you know the schedule for this week, what to expect, and we are going to go hard tomorrow, April 4th, noon. Tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Accountability meeting. Join the fam today over there. SwoleNormousX.com. Be there for the live call. It's going to be fucking aces. It's going to be absolute aces. Toxic muscularity. Who's going to be toxic muscularity? Toxic muscularity. Scroll, scroll. Toxic muscularity. Scroll, scroll, scroll. One more time. One more time. Keep dropping it. Keep dropping it. 3, 2, 1. We got a winner. Everybody, congratulations, Lacey Hughes. God damn it. Thank you, Falcon. Finally, solid. Everyone say congratulations, Lacey. Where'd that go? Lacey Hughes. I lost the comment, but congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2158 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email.
Inconceivable!
Very nice. You, my dear, have toxic muscularity. I keep wanting to say toxic masculinity, but it's toxic muscularity. And yes, we're going to get some toxic muscularity apparel up shortly. So make sure you drop that hashtag and hashtag the Swole fam as well. So congratulations, Lacey. Send us that email. We got some awesome shit. We got the certified Swole cards going out. So keep an eye out for that in your mailbox. We got some new apparel drops coming. We got some new Swole fam exclusive uncensored content coming this week. It's going to be unreal. Let's nut this beach, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time for the accountability meeting. Don't miss out on that.
I am the danger.
You are looking rather splendid this evening.
So why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
All right then, leave!
Crucifixion is good. Out of the door, line on the left, one cross each.
Loud noises!
There are no more shenanigans, no more tomfoolery, no more ballyhoo.
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. I better use my strong.
That's a huge bitch!
You need to stop being a lady. Quit worrying. You'll be back on your knees in no time.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn!
Great Scott!
You're insane, gold member!
Fucking nailed it, baby.
It's estimated that 200 million people have died. Probably by the time I finish this talk. I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness.
Make me happy.
My nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
As you can see, my nipples have been removed from my body. Where they are, I don't know.
There's tiny tuck, typical tuck, total tuck, and the tyrannical tuck.
Fucking people.
You switch the samples.
The attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
I give it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
No hands, fam. Oh, yeah, that piano cock is on fire. Hitting the piano keys in my dick. Fam, thank you so much for being here. Excellent episode. Make sure that you are checking out swolenormousx.com to see you in order to be there tomorrow for the accountability meeting, 12 noon Eastern time. Be there, Beaches. I will see you all. I'll text you, of course. Right now, we can continue the chat inside Telegram. So you can head on over there, and we will see you tomorrow at the meeting, 12 noon Eastern time, swolenormousx.com. Fam-wise, thank you so much for the questions, and we'll be back here live on the Public Cast on Tuesday for Tainty Tuesday. And let me tell you, it's going to be extra tainty, as it ought to be, as it always is. So thank you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow for the accountability meeting. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint shit. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Our topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollie.